coming up tonight. We power a phone using salt. Vic's in another hire vehicle, never buy a Citroen. Gary's back at colleges. Stand by for a diverted neutral CPD. And Vic gets a dart in the foot.
Will sodium replace lithium in home batteries, Gordon? Now I'm getting worried because I've got a home battery and we've got the experts to answer that question. You will be watching us either on Facebook or on YouTube, and we thank you very much whether you're joining us live, therefore get your comments in. But if you're not live, please still add those comments because the team would like to get back to every single one of those and it can drive future live streams. I'm uber excited. Cracking guests today, but I'm now mildly worried.
Really?
In my plant room, I've installed some batteries, and I've got a feeling they're not full of sodium.
Yeah.
Okay, so should I be worried?
Don't think, yeah. This is you tonight, yeah. You are battery expert, yeah. Because I've seen it, yeah. You did there's a whole video out there. You talking about battery technology?
Is there?
You and Chris Hall, the lemon heads. Remember, making batteries out of lemons.
Yes, that's the one. I'm all over that. So we had 2 lemons, okay, we cut them in half, okay, then we used the zinc and again a copper nail, okay, and we managed to use those lemons as electrolyte, and we managed to get a flow of electrons across that, effectively the plates of a battery. No sodium in sight, I would suggest, unless that was a sodium lemon.
Well, I've just suggested you're an expert there, so any difficult battery questions, get them in tonight. Gary's an expert. He's got them at home in his plant room with basin and toilet in there. So yeah, this is a bit of you, this, but new technology tonight. That's it. I mean, it's, you know, battery. Everyone thinks lithium, and then you have various bits of lithium, and you hear all sorts of things about lithium, and also. And we're going to get rid of a lot of myths tonight and give people a new battery technology to look at that looks really exciting for home energy storage.
Okay, so first of all, in the comments, let's get a comment in. Have you got a solar and battery system? Have you got just solar? Have you got just battery? Or have you got none of it? And obviously that's something either you're looking to install in the future because customers are asking for it, but you may always start on yourself, don't you? Before you dive into this, you tend to put your first solar and battery system on your own house, which will be a massive benefit to you. But it might be after this stream that you decide with a little bit of a conversation piece with your other significant person in your life that you're going to choose one made up not of the materials, but maybe try sodium. Okay, we've got some experts in the room. Should we have a look over there because they look like they're keen to come and join us? They're all waving at us now vigorously there. So just go through who's over there for us, Gordon.
We have got Yichen, we've got Andy, and we've got Neil, all from 11 Energy.
Okay, so they're over there. I think they should be over here, really. Let's get into this because this is going to be a cracker. We've got 3 amazing experts, and here they come.
I'm just pleased you're not singing this week, Gary.
Oh no, I was saying somebody said it was a little bit loud. I can't believe it. Was it on it? Was it blaring?
It was a bit club karaoke.
All right, okay. Thank you very much and welcome. Okay, we've had a great day today, and we're going to try and get as much of this information out to the people that watch us on the stream. But first of all, they're also got in the back of their mind a little bit about your background. You've got a whiff of an electrical background. Do you want to start, Andy? Tell us all about yourself in 60 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. So 20 years ago, I lived on an arable in Cambridge. Put some solar panels on it. They're absolutely fantastic for charging batteries in an off-grid situation. So I set up a little business selling solar panels to other people who lived on boats. Fast forward a few years, feed-in tariff came in. We sort of grew and grew as more people started putting grid connect systems in as well. And that's what we do mostly these days. So yeah, I set up a company, Midsummer Energy. You might have heard of us. We're a sort of big renewables wholesaler. We supply the battery systems, the solar panels, heat pumps as well now. We do all sorts of renewables. And then a year ago, Yichen came along, popped into the office and said, I'm keen to start up a new little startup, bringing a sodium-ion battery to market. And that was really
We'll stop you there. I've got a friend, got a question for a friend. You mentioned boats.
Yes.
He's got a caravan. Are you also selling batteries and solar panels to caravans?
Yeah.
You are. My friend will be pleased. Will you do him a deal?
It's a very special deal.
Okay, good. Friend, sorted. We'll go next for you, Neil. 60 seconds or less.
Well, I'm Neil. I've got a background in technology, so kind of data center technology, big real-time systems. I come in really from the customer angle. I had a solar system installed, and first question I asked is, how do I make that not discharge into my EV at night? And they had no real answer to it. So my job is solving those kind of problems within the 11 energy system. So deal with the kind of energy management system with all the smart tariff integration, deal with all the apps for the installers onboard customers with and commission systems with, and the end user experience.
Okay, you've had some problems with that yourself, haven't you? Discharging inside of your EV in the past as well. So, Yichen, if you want to go next for me, please.
Sure, yeah. So I started a company some times ago working on installation of solar panels and battery. And over time, I find more and more customers want more sustainable options and cleaner storage systems. So I was looking into different chemistries of batteries. What I find is sodium offers the best option because the materials in these sodium batteries are accessible, abundant. So I looked into it and trying to figure out how we can actually build it in Britain. So I approached Andy, like Andy said, asking whether he could be our distributor and early investor. And also I approached Neil for our EMS development. That's how we come together.
Okay, so
basically I'm the co-founder of the company.
I've got one for you because I've had a look at this. You are CEO.
That's right.
Okay, really good. And we're going with Andy, you're CGO.
That's right.
What's the G?
G for growth.
Growth.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got CTO.
Technology.
Okay, and at the bottom of the page, I've got PTO.
Yeah.
Part 2 now, we're looking at, so okay, so all letters after your name.
Experts, Gary.
Experts. Well, okay.
Alongside your battery knowledge, we're there.
Okay, so we're going to do the race hall a bit later because there's too much great stuff up front for this one. So we're going to just push that back, but think about their backgrounds and think about whether they're going to be quick on the actual race. So it's one of the closest we've ever had. So that's something definitely to hold on for. But first of all, 11 Energy wants to answer the name. First of all, who came up with it and why?
I did actually. Right. So before I got into the solar, I actually did chemistry. I did a PhD in chemistry. And if people know anything about the periodic table, you might know you've got lithium on the left-hand side, right near the top, and then directly below that you've got sodium. And lithium has got 3 electrons and protons associated with it. Sodium has 11, so it's the atomic number of sodium.
Okay, so I'm looking at there and I've got the symbol, we've got it up here, we've got 11. Did you not want to call yourself 11 nah? Didn't you think that would have been better, 11 nah?
Just might have put a few people off.
Oh, right,
yeah,
okay, 11 nah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah.
Talking of having all your chromosomes flying around, how are you doing this week then, Gordon?
Very good, actually. And obviously the eFIXX audience are on, apparently, from across the other side of the world. Sodium is approved for inside caravans over there, where you can't have lithium.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What part of the world?
What part of the world?
Retro Z machine, so I think he's based, it could be New Zealand, Australia way.
Okay.
Like that.
Well, it's an opportunity, yeah.
We'll have to go and check it out. Field trip. Field trip.
I've got a feeling one of our caravan enthusiasts would have finally suggested he was one if we were going to Australia to look at it. We are going to approach sodium from a point of view of where it should be installed or could be installed and the benefits of installing it as we go through this one. But let's start off then with how are we going to get sodium? Okay, so who wants to take that one? Yichen?
Yep. So there are many different places that you can get sodium. For example, from the seawater, that's the top option because pretty much all the countries around Europe have some sort of coastline.
Okay.
And you can actually extract that from the seawater.
Full of seawater?
Yes, actually from the sea salt.
So yours are full of seawater?
Not really, no water.
Oh, right, okay.
The salt, yes.
The salt from the water,
yes.
okay, that makes the sodium.
Specifically the sodium from sodium chloride, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The other place would be desalination plants. You have countries like Singapore, Saudi Arabia, they have desalination plants. They actually extract the fresh water and leave the salt, actually pump back the salt to the ocean, which causes pollution, killing off all these marine animals. All of these salt can actually be used to produce batteries. And finally, we have salt mine in Cheshire. So we could get access to salt quite easily.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's abundant, I would suggest, Gordon, yes?
It is, lots of salt.
There is. There's a little bit down here. We've been using it earlier on. Put your hand out, son, young man. Yeah, so... Yeah, that's the last time you did a bit of salt, was it?
There we go. I'll take that with a pinch of salt.
Yes, okay.
Oh, terrible. It gets worse than that. So, obviously, abundance of salt. What's the problem with lithium? to turn that around?
Yeah, so lithium is fantastic in batteries, and you know that's the vast majority of home energy storages use lithium, but there's not a great deal of it, and it's quite hard to extract. So you either do sort of big mining processes to get it, or you extract it from brines in places like the Atacama Desert in Chile. But then you also need to do quite a lot of heavy processing, because it's not very abundant, there's not very much lithium in what you extract to actually get the useful minerals out. So you use a lot of water, you use a lot of energy to extract that lithium. So it's a bit of a quandary, because we've got these batteries which are fantastic, they help with getting solar into people's properties and using that energy efficiently, but at the same time that lithium is causing environmental damage. So the fantastic thing about sodium is that, as we said before, it's very similar electrically and chemically to lithium. And you can largely just replace the lithium in a battery with sodium. It'll work pretty much the same way. There's a few differences, and we'll get onto them. But yeah, you can use a sodium-ion battery, and there's 1,000 times as much sodium in the world as there is lithium. It's easy to extract. You can get it from seawater or from salt mines. You're not really causing any environmental damage at all when you're using that sodium instead of lithium.
Neil, give us those common batteries that we've all got at home, regardless whether we've got a solar and battery system, that are actually lithium-powered batteries.
Well, I think predominantly nowadays it's lithium iron phosphate is typically installed. So that's predominantly it. But you've also got lithium ion. Older power walls, for example, use lithium ion. So they're the two kind of.
And just give us some those people are sitting at home without those batteries screwed to their maybe their downstairs plant room. So what's the most common batteries in a house?
Well, lithium iron phosphate, I would say, the most common.
What are you going for, Gordon?
I go for lithium ion. I've got one sat on my knee. I can feel the heat of it underneath me.
Mobile phones as well.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. If it's not a house battery system, then
absolutely. So they're the most.
Lithium polymer is probably the predominant one that's in phones.
Yeah, and we all get worried, don't we? Because we've all seen those YouTube clips where someone parks their Tesla, don't they, and then it's on fire. But actually, often it's the mobile phone or iPad or others are available if you haven't got any money. So they sit on the dashboard. They obviously get warm in California heat, and it's actually maybe the phone or laptop or tablet that's actually starting a fire. But of course, that's not ever displayed on the footage as poor old Tesla take a bit of a kick in. And we've seen one of these go up, haven't we, Gordon?
We have, yeah.
Let's have a look at when we have a battery at home go up. Let's have a look what that looks like. So, here we go then, Gordon. So, you notice my legs in the background there, folks. So it must have been a Wednesday. I was wearing orange socks. There's the man that's going to knock
a lithium iron phosphate battery.
Right, okay.
Drive a nail through it.
Yeah, okay.
I was quite close on this one, because I'd already had a hit that's not as bad as others, but smoldered away a little bit.
Yeah, not a problem. I've got no issues with that. The next one, well, this is the one we're all worried about. This is what we got strapped to our pockets all the time.
A bit further away then.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. So here we go. I'm there still. Notice where the legs are? That's me. So this one goes up like a treat. So we suggest that this has got all three elements of a fire triangle. Is that right, Neil?
Yeah, so it's, the byproduct of it burning is the fact that it produces oxygen as well, which is the thing that it needs to burn more.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you've hit the thing there with, with a crowbar, but I think that predominantly most fires in, say, lithium polymer batteries come from deformation. So, this is the problem that with the Samsung phones. Some time ago, there was a manufacturing defect. During charge cycles, the battery expands and contracts. Then the anode and cathode touch together. Then you've got a short, and that creates the fire triangle. And from then on, the chemistry takes over.
Yeah, because it's self-fueling, isn't it? Yeah, which is great. So, of course, we're all a little bit worried because we all see those videos, and now we're being encouraged to have battery systems.
Here, Gary.
Oh, have you? Oh, look at this. I wonder what that was. I thought it was your wallet last time you opened it.
Yeah.
It internally combusted. Look at that. So that's the remnants of...
the fire you've just seen on screen there.
Wow, yeah. I can almost taste it like I did last time. So that's that one.
Yeah.
Really.
Now, it's interesting because airlines, they always say if you drop your phone down the side of the seat, tell us about it.
Yes.
Because they're worried it just clunk the seat back, puncture the battery. And if I haven't saw that, I can understand exactly why I get worried.
Yeah,
if I saw you dropping your seat phone, I'd be worried. I'd be moving away from you.
Okay. All right, well, you're normally in one of those restricted seats. You get helped on and off the plane, so we never get a chance to sit together. Different story. So that's where we are fundamentally with that. Now, all of a sudden, there's talk about kind of lofts. They're all dangerous. We're kind of in the house. They're all dangerous. We've got to have them outside. Now, lithium batteries in the form of maybe what the early Tesla ones maybe were that way, but they've changed the chemistry a little bit now. What's the chemistry that we're between us and sodium now?
Yeah, that's right. So most batteries these days in residential energy storage is lithium iron phosphate.
Right.
And that is much safer in a fire. It doesn't have that sort of thermal runaway problem where it's producing its own oxygen and just making the fire worse and worse. But it does still catch fire. If you saw from the other little battery that you stuck a nail through, it was smoking and it's got a flammable electrolyte. So in a fire, it will still burn and sort of off gas and things.
Okay.
I mean, you should say we've got a couple of sodium-ion cells here. So this is sort of first-generation cell.
This
is quite similar in terms of its performance with lithium iron phosphate.
Yes.
This also has a flammable electrolyte, so it's pretty safe. It's not going to get the thermal runaway of the early lithium-ion batteries.
Right.
But if you actually put this in a fire, the electrolyte can still catch fire. We've also got these ones, and these are actually one of the first cells to be pretty much completely safe in a fire.
Can I ask each and then if I could see inside here?
Yeah.
Andy's holding what? I'll go first. There's a little bit of salt in there. Okay, sodium of some sort, yeah. What else is in there?
So these batteries are made from two major things, cathode, anode.
Yes,
so,
cathode and anode.
yes,
Right, now.
and electrolyte in between.
Right, what are they made of? What's your anode and cathode made of?
So in these grain batteries that we're using right now, so the cathode is made from magnesium oxide and iron oxide. The anode is made from hard carbon.
Right.
So hard carbon, you can get it from coal, from cardboard boxes, from coconut shells, very easily accessible material, just like sodium. And the manganese oxide, iron oxide are from the recycled, byproducts from the steel industry.
Okay.
So also very accessible.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the benefit. So these cells are similar, but they have a slightly different chemistry that I don't think I could disclose at this moment.
Oh! Now, I'll put in there, obviously, two things to point out. First one, Gary thought the electrodes were cardboard all week because he'd heard a discussion, and I was like, it was...
I'll come back, I wrote it on the notes, and I was like, I've got to go back to the team and say they've managed to use cardboard.
Well, you could actually use cardboard.
Okay.
You'd have to turn it into carbon first.
Yes.
It's a carbon that forms the material, but the sort of sodium ions sort of integrate.
So you said...
You can...
Oh.
Yeah, well, basically you heat it really, really hot and you burn off all the other materials and elements that are in that cardboard or whatever sort of biological waste you want to use, and then you can turn that into the hard carbon that then becomes a material.
Hard carbon.
Hard carbon.
Yeah.
Okay, where I got...
Cardboard.
No, I got carbon. I wrote it down, yeah.
Well, then obviously, so then you say that's really safe. Obviously, most people watching will remember when they tried to sell you into doing a chemistry GCSE, the first thing they do is drop a bit of sodium into the water and watch it fizz up around you.
That's right, yeah. So they'll let you do that at school, or the teacher will do it at least. If you put a bit of lithium in that water, though, the lithium would absolutely explode everywhere. They're never going to let you do that at school. So the lithium's far worse than the sodium. But then the other thing to say is the sodium here, and there's no safety problem with putting this in a glass of water because it's already reacted, it's already turned into sodium chloride. And it's the same with these batteries, it's not in its raw elemental form, so there's really no safety problem at all from the sodium that's in the battery, no more than there is from this.
Okay, so that's already gone through some sort of reaction.
Exactly.
It's a sodium something, you're not telling us what it is. But that's obviously good. Now, this battery, prove it. You brought us one in where obviously everyone trusts the local DPD driver or whatever they're called. Are they still called DPD? Have they changed the name? Was that bad? I don't know.
This is actually dropped by DHL.
DHL. Other carriers are available just in case. And a well-known German-based carrier dropped it.
Okay.
Now, on our if that was a normal lithium-ion cell, we'd be pretty worried if someone sort of squashed it a little bit like that. So
We just don't know where
there, Gary.
it was dropped.
Yeah, okay, and no issues. Now, we went to a trade show in Germany where they had like a case that was like almost like you were smuggling in nuclear reactive material, it looked like something Dr. Emmett Brown would have in the back of his wagon they were designed if you were transporting batteries, which put everyone a little bit.
It was funny, yeah, because at trade show everyone's talking about how safe battery technology is. Then you walk around the corner and you've got Armageddon containers to transport them around the country, and I was like, ooh. But I was thinking, I'm driving around in one of these things as well. I was like, what if like I go through a flood? Thinking back to that chemistry lesson, I'm going to be fizzing down the road.
But there's another interesting thing about sodium is that you can actually discharge it to being completely flat, so that there's no electricity in there at all while you're moving it. So one thing about lithium is if you discharge it completely, that's really bad for the battery. So you always try and leave 10, 20% of the charge in the battery. But sodium, you can actually discharge completely to zero, and that does make it potentially safer for transport.
Okay, we've been done.
That's an interest, because I've just unpacked that a bit, because obviously, you see a lot of these battery packs, and then people will quote usable capacity. So it might be 50 kilowatts, usable 45.
That's right.
You can never use that other 5.
Yeah, well, if you do, I mean, you can use it in a lithium pack, but you start damaging the pack. It really doesn't like being cycled right down to those very low state of charge percentages. So, yeah, most battery manufacturers will recommend you leave 15, 20%, maybe even 25% in your battery, and that will make your battery last longer. Okay. Which means people are reluctant to sort of really use the battery heavily. But with sodium, you can go down as low as you like. We still need a certain amount of charge in the battery, because if you go right down to 0 volts, your inverter isn't going to see that there's a battery there, and it's not going to start up again. So in practice, we leave about 8% in the battery, but that's a good bit better than the lithium-ion batteries.
Okay. So at the minute, the lithium battery, if I got a home storage system and it's 10 kilowatts, I've only really got 8.
Exactly.
Yeah. How many batteries you got, Gary?
Yeah, okay, you've just described my system, by the way. Yeah,
Right.
I'm exactly that same position. I've got a fraction over 10 kilowatt hours of storage, but I have to leave allegedly 25% in it, which I've managed to get down to 15 in the app, because I wasn't going to leave that much cash on the table, is what I thought on that one. Now, we've been dancing around it, folks. We mentioned some stuff. Rare earth materials. We mentioned that a lot. I think it's rare because of the parts of the world and the type of labour maybe needed to pull it out of the Earth's crust, okay, more than anything. Yours must also have some of those wonderful things in there, Yichen. Are you full of rare earth materials in there?
No, we don't have cobalt.
No.
We don't have rare earth material in it.
So from an environmental point of view, we don't use the massive amount of water it takes, obviously, to get lithium out, and whatever's in there is very sustainable materials.
That's right.
And can be byproducts of other processes as well. That's a good starting point. I would suggest, as everyone's trying to be a little bit greener and you're installing solar and battery to be green, how many people are taking into consideration the storage they've got, the impact on the environment, and that's obviously a little in for you. These are all great. Okay, we might be watching this now, getting all uber excited. Hopefully Gordon will be spotting the comments, and we're thinking, I haven't seen an 11 energy system anywhere, so where can I get one from?
From Midsummer. So
that sounds great, but if I've sat at home, where's Midsummer? If I put that into the internet, where am I going to land?
Well, as an end customer, obviously you're going to contact an installer, and the installer will.
But these are installers that are watching,
yeah,
so how
they will have an account with Midsummer.
Is that purely online, or
on
we've got
Midsummer's
physical
website? You can use Easy PV, so it's all you can plan the system.
Yeah, so if you're an installer who's watching and you're interested in installing these batteries, first of all, look at our website, 11energy.co.uk. That'll tell you all about the chemistry, and then we'll go through quite a few of the things we've been talking about here. And then, yeah, in terms of buying them, midsummerwholesale.co.uk. Everything's online.
Thank you.
If you don't have an account with us, apply for one, and we'll get you one. We work with everyone in the trade. So, yeah, readily available. We've got them in the warehouse now.
Okay, yeah, so that's what people are thinking. If they're going to think, well, I'm already doing it, or I'm going to put my own system in, by the end of this, you may have convinced them that this is a system that is incredibly safe, okay, maybe compared to some other technologies, but we'll find out as we go through. There must be some downsides.
Yeah, well, we also run regular training sessions as well. So if you're interested in it, come on to one of our regular training sessions, learn how to commission and install the systems.
Okay, Gordon, questions. You've been looking down there. Is there anything grabbing your eye?
There is. I'll just there's some top followers first. People are worrying how you get a top follower. There's a little hashtag comes next to your name. At the minute, Joe Hammond's at number 1, which is not a good position for him to be in.
No.
But he's getting excited somehow. I think he wants a coconut flavoured battery.
Okay.
And the old Manjaro's getting him to a bit much. He's having hallucinations.
Yes.
Yeah, the more comments you fire in, the more chance you've got of getting on that 1, 2 or 3 position. At the minute, it is Joe Hammond 6. Number 6 in his name, ZK Electrical, Paul Tipton there.
Oh, yeah, Paul
regular
Tipton.
viewers
Yeah,
in there
regular.
as well.
My wife's fallen off her sheet. Oh, no, she's 11, so she's
in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soma Solar System, sounds like someone's in the trade there. And yeah, just keep firing those in. Now, obviously, yeah, there must be some other downsides to this.
Yeah.
You know, it almost sounds too good to be true. It's made from materials you can easily get. It's what's the downside? There must be something we're missing.
I mean, we talked a bit about where lithium and sodium are in the periodic table, and lithium sort of right at the top. It's only got 3 protons, 3 electrons, and sodium's down a level. It's got 11 protons, 11 electrons, and that just means it's a bigger, heavier element. And so the slight trade-off you get with sodium-ion batteries is that they're just a bit bigger and bulkier and heavier for the amount of energy storage that you have in them. But and that makes you probably wouldn't want on your smartphone, because you want your smartphone to be small and light, and you want it to last as long as possible with the charge it's got. So you don't want to have a heavier battery in your pocket. But for energy storage systems and outside of a house, if a battery is maybe 15% bigger, that's not a big problem. It just means it's maybe an inch deeper or an inch and a half wider.
Who would know?
Exactly. No one's really good to know. So it's a really good application for sodium-ion batteries, which is why we're sort of focusing on this rather than maybe electric vehicles and the mobility side or phones and things like that. For those applications, you do want something that's really small and compact and very energy dense. You do get that slight trade-off with sodium that is not quite as dense as lithium, but really for energy storage, it's still ideal. You're going to get an 8-10 kilowatt-hour pack in a fairly small space, and most people are going to fit that in their house or their wall. No
I've got some pictures of one installed just to prove it. Let's just see what we've got. Let's see what you'll hardly tell the difference, apart from the nice branding on there and the little
Fridge
NA11.
chest on the left for the barbecues. That's good. Okay, obviously a few bicarbonated beverages in there, so that's good. So there's nothing about that would suggest to me that I've traded a little bit bigger unit for the technology that's inside it. Okay. Oh, that makes more sense when you look in one, doesn't it? Oh, clever idea. So they just slide straight into it.
Yeah. So that what we're looking at there, battery capacity there, just for reference.
4.5 each.
Yeah.
So that's a 9 kilowatt. So in a yes, okay. So in a lithium iron phosphate, that might be a 10. We've traded that for a 9.
But that's 9 you can use.
That's 9 you can use. There we go.
Yeah,
because there's no penalty for discharging to 0. So effectively, our system allows you to discharge to 0%.
Okay, so I'm looking at that now. There must be some. What about cycles? Can you do less cycles?
No. We warrant it for a similar cycle count to lithium iron phosphate, but typically those cells, I think we're about twice the cycle count.
So the manufacturer has a couple of these cells from the sort of first batch that they created, and they're now at sort of 13,000 cycles already.
Wow.
They're down to about sort of 85% capacity. But if you think about 13,000 cycles, if you cycle every day for a year, that's only 365, 10 years, say 4,000 average. So that's 30 years worth of cycles, and it's still got 85% of its capacity left. So yeah, the cycle life on these is really very, very good. And in fact, this next generation that we're looking to move on to is meant to be even better.
Yes.
So it's excellent.
How many times do you cycle in your batteries, Gary?
Well,
You must be keeping count, do you?
Once a day.
I've got a gang chart on the wall. I'm
Yeah.
just going through there. 5. Yeah. No. And again, I admit my system is considerably less than 13,000. Okay, than that, and you believe that this one is. But again, you're probably wise to give a very similar number to everyone else, because like anything, until you get to the point you prove your technology, your distance just keeps moving, doesn't it?
Exactly. I mean, we think we're being conservative with offering the sort of 10-year warranty that everyone else does, but we're pretty sure from the test results we're seeing that in practice they should last a lot longer than that.
Okay, another big tick. I like it. Any downsides at all? Come on, we've got it slightly bigger. I don't class that as a downside. We can be slightly bigger. Yeah, we can go to 0. That's not a downside. This is like going to an interview, isn't it? Well, my biggest downside is we can go all the way to 0. Everyone else stops at 25. We're slightly bigger. Anything else?
Well, the other thing, you can't just take a sodium-ion battery and pair it with any old inverter.
Right.
So with sodium-ion, you've got a much wider voltage range. So we're talking around 33 to 60 volts.
Okay.
So you need the electronics to be able to cater for that kind of wide voltage range and current range. So you can't just take an 11 battery and pair it with a kind of any old hybrid system, which is why we provide the inverter and the battery.
And we'll come on to that in a bit, because we're going to take a look at the accompanying parts that you've done to the system. Now we've got David Costello, who was already he was on the last time show. I hope he did get on all right on the Great North
Run. Gives his stuff away.
Yeah, he does give you stuff away. You
want to use his business model. It's really good. And I tell you, some of our viewers will purchase your free batteries inverters almost straight away.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a real winner. A real winner.
But he's done the Great North Run, I believe. Be good to know your time, David. Well, pleased to see you back in the comments. At least hopefully still not in Newcastle, on your mobile, still on the run. But he does a lot of commercial systems. Is there any plans to go into the bigger style commercial?
I think ultimately,
yes. I think the first thing we want to do is to build a consumer-facing brand, raising brand awareness first. And then once we get that brand awareness, it will help us to ease to the B2B side of business, building great scale containerized batteries. The problem with containerized batteries is that it takes several years to get grid connection approval. So for a company like ours, we just can't wait to get into the market. So that's why we wanted to focus on the residential systems first. Single phase, 3-phase inverters, multiple battery packs, and then once we have the brand awareness, once we build the company up, we can move up and working with the big boys.
Okay, well, I'm going to come in with some hard questions now. You know they're coming up. Call centre, where's it based?
Call centre. Yeah. Cambridge.
Where?
Cambridge.
Cambridge?
UK.
Oh, okay. It's that language again. Is it cardboard? So Cambridge, I know where Cambridge is. So that sounds like it's in the UK.
Yes.
Okay, that seems rather handy, doesn't it?
Yeah, all of our installer and customer support's in the UK.
Okay, all right, okay. I'll come up with another one in a second. What about temperature range? That's always a killer. Let's go for top end temperature. Anyone want to pick that one up? What's your highest temperature it can work at?
It's in the 50s, isn't it?
It's quite warm.
Yeah.
What about the bottom end?
Well, that's the real strength. So there's no real penalty until you get to say -20 really on charging. So as you approach or go just below 0, you're still talking kind of 0.2 C charging.
Just explain that for those people who don't understand that.
Realistically, at the coldest temperatures you're going to ever get in the UK, we're still going to be able to fully charge a system within 5 hours.
Okay.
So, and we do that without heaters. So sodium is very capable at working at very low temperatures. There's absolutely zero issues with discharge, so you can get full kind of 1C discharge at any temperature. But even charging, say down to -20 within the enclosure. So that's
incredibly
important.
cold, then, isn't it? Yeah. And then you said there's no heaters in there, so it doesn't need any preheating or anything.
That's one big difference with lithium-based batteries. They do really start reducing the rate at which you can charge and discharge them as soon as you drop below 0. So that's a problem in the middle of winter. But the way the manufacturers have got around that in a lot of cases is to stick a heating mat into the battery. But of course, that's just sucking up some of the energy during the time you need it most in the middle of the winter.
Did they ever tell you that on the performance data sheet?
They're fairly quiet about it sometimes. But,
I didn't know that. So there's a little heater in there as well, using your electricity.
A lot of them, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, you'd have to hope there is if they're installed outside, otherwise you're not going to be able to charge them.
That's right.
So that's going to be taking some of your energy.
And a lot of systems don't have heaters. So.
Oh, when you're talking about stuff inside it then, so that I'll get you on this one, often fire suppression now. People like to tell you this dangerous thing's now got fire suppression. You got any fire suppression in yours?
No.
Ah, caught you out.
No heaters?
Don't need it.
No heaters?
No fire
Heater
suppression.
there.
So why no fire suppression?
Because the cells are safe enough.
Okay.
It won't generate oxygen if it was set on fire. So basically it won't go into explosion or won't cause any intrinsic damage to the battery system.
Will it add to the fire? If it caught, so it didn't catch fire itself, it was in a fire, it's more likely. I don't think these
It's
things...
unlikely since they don't generate oxygen, which boosts the combustion.
Right, okay, so it'd just like anything else, it'd just be in the fire. It wouldn't go and contribute to the fire as such. That's good. That is good. So that's some. Look, you've got too many positives here. We will find a massive negative at some
Come
point.
on, folks.
Yeah, come on, help us out here. So,
help us out. Yeah,
it's
they're normally
too good to be true.
on
This is.
YouTube. Everyone's normally pretty good at finding the weak point. Yeah, we've got some experts in here. We've got a test. We've got a PhD in. Come on.
No, they sneak these quals out now, don't they? Yeah, so it's like, what everyone hasn't seen, Andy's been incredibly quiet all day, and he's just lit himself up in the last 40 minutes, and everyone's surprised at that one. So again, the only downside I'm seeing is it's slightly bigger. Outside of your house.
The main,
wow. Yeah, that is not really a problem at all. If you haven't got any questions, Gordon, I'd like to think about the race wall. Have you got any questions for us, young man?
No, I mean, we are answering. Someone's just been asking about temperature. Obviously, people are obviously never far away. Bit of a cost. Is there a cost?
Yeah, cost is very, very comparable to lithium-ion systems at the moment. Yeah, so get an account on Midsummer and have a look. But it's definitely competitive.
Put that back down. I'm going to give you a little bit of pressure then. Yeah. So when we're talking about, there's different fields of costs here. You know, Tesla Powerwall 3, and then we come down through and we get through. Are you give energy level? Are you Tesla Powerwall level? Whereabouts are you? What am I thinking?
Yeah, we're towards that lower end, but we're trying to keep at that end of the cost spectrum. But we will come on to the sort of home energy management system that comes alongside it as well, because we're trying to also give you a system that's really versatile and works well with the whole home, with the EV chargers, with your immersion heaters, with your heat pumps and everything. So we're keeping the cost towards the lower end. It's not any cheaper. To be honest, if you really look out, you'll get some cheap.
There's always someone cheaper.
Looking ones, but you want to be slightly careful of some of the really cheap ones. So we're trying to keep the quality there, the versatility there, and keep the cost towards the lower end of the spectrum.
They'd be very surprised when they look at a website one day, is what you're trying to say, very politely. You will be surprised, folks. It is at the right end of the price scale on that one. So I think we ought to do the bit for the G-Dog. You give everyone a little bit of time before we go to Decline or Klein.
It is, yeah, it is. It is time to obviously we can wax lyrical about qualifications and things like that. But what we really care, people's practical skills at this time of the night, isn't it? I mean,
they're probably the three most qualified people we've had on a long time taking on the race wall.
Highly qualified people taking on the Electricians Challenge. So this was, so it is now your time to join in the fun. You've got the time that our guests
just remind them of the
challenge
names,
wall
please,
in.
Gordon.
We've got Yichen, we've got Andy, we've got Neil. Gary didn't do it, so just put that in the comments. So Yichen and a time, Andy and a time, and Neil in a time. We've got a little bit of, just let those times in.
Incredibly close this one is, folks. So you're getting your times in. We will get it in the right order this time, because after this, we are going to see what house tools they used or not, as the case may be. And your times will already be in by then. And when you work out what an incredible toolbox one of these has got, you're going to be absolutely gutted that you didn't maybe pick them to win the race. Well, hey, mate. Yeah. Yes. Yep. We're going to throw them all off on scent here. Let's have Decline or Klein. It's my favourite theme tune of the evening as we look at the board here to work out whether we climbed or declined the tools on offer here at Lineside Studios. Yichen, you were up first, not only first, maybe on the race wall, little clue for you there. You were first to take on it. Now, did you use the Klein tools or did you decline them?
Klein.
You Klein. All right, man, a few words, but that's something to remember. Andy,
Yes.
Were you incline or decline for our tools on the race wall?
I climbed as well.
All right, okay, we're getting taller as we go on here, so we go up again. I'm going to get up there. So, Neil, were you climb or decline on the race wall?
Climbed.
Okay, so we've got 3 climbs, however, only one of them can win the race wall. Who's your money going to be on? We've obviously jizzed it up a bit, so hopefully your name and time are in. It's incredibly close, folks. So let's roll it, and we're going to see all 3 at the same time. Here we go, Gordon. So who's up first? Well, it'll be all 3 of them.
It'll be all 3.
Here we go. So we're going to press the button. We're going to go Andy, Neil, and Yichen. Here we go. So we've got a little bit. Now, everybody goes back to school, okay? And remember the summer term. And when that winter term comes and the autumn term comes, some people forget that they've got their shorts. And they still continue to wear those shorts all year round. Is that you, Andy? Are you a short man all year round?
Well, it's getting towards the end of that period, to be honest.
Well, I think you're
in the studio.
it's pretty cold in here. You've mentioned the temperature a few times. Right.
I've got the tape out. That's
Important.
unusual.
Gave a really good lesson on this, and not everybody. Oh, aggressive. And not so
Oh, look at
aggressive.
that.
Look at
Take
this.
it easy there.
And good taping. Yeah, kept that one nice
Slow
and
and
tight.
steady wins the race.
Yeah, right.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
right.
Look at this. This is slow and steady. And round and round.
I don't know about steady. I
we
do
go.
know about slow. Oh,
Just trying to stay awake,
yeah.
and we pulled it off before we got the end conductors. Right, Andy, will you get it up? Oh, like a dream, like a dream. Andy was Olympic on this, folks. So keep going. So whips around here
bit of
like a
electrical
ferret.
experience here.
Yes, whipper thin. Look at this. Here we
Wide
go.
you're on canal box.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I
here we go.
didn't
Neil
listen to the
always
teacher.
had a
I know.
refusal. Yes. Great demonstration. Nobody listened to apart from Andy. So up we go this time. Second attempt. Wasn't too bad, but it wasn't Andy-esque, as we would say. So Yichen's still peeling the tape off his, I would imagine.
really?
Thereabouts.
Is that it?
Where's that?
Round it. We're into the board. Look in the background. Andy's there. Look, here we go. Are we going to get it
here
up
we
this
go.
time?
Yep.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, we had a refusal. Okay, look at that. If it struggles to go in the bottom hole, it never comes out. Now, you get lucky here because you yank this through eventually, don't you? Yep, there it goes. You got it through. We did a nice bit of
There's a
editing
lot
on
of
there.
tape on that. Where's the tape?
And I'm shouting now, cut it off. Cut it off. There you go. Cut it off. Well done. Cut it off. Yeah, happy days. Yeah, we're all good. So Andy's all over it. Here we go again. Cut it off. That's Neil. So well done, Neil. And Yichen's going to be in a minute, and we'll see. Whoa! And look at it, he catches him. He catches it. Look at that. Yeah, he caught him. And as we put it on slowly, we will take it off slowly. We forgot it was a race. I am saying at this time, cut it off.
Worse than any
Cut it. Look at
precious
it.
nature's magic materials, Gary.
Oh, and finally expose the conductors. These are a dream. Andy went straight for the cheat, so Neil was in there wrenching it out. Best juggle we've ever
use
had.
my teeth.
I would like to say that these 3 lads look like they're lads on tour. They're all out tonight. Obviously, we're going to go to the local nightclub and rest. Not a wedding ring amongst them yet. At least 2 of them are mentioned as significant other while on it. Whoa! Half a Ramo. We love it. So, yeah, Andy, no wedding ring. Neil, no wedding ring. You've mentioned wives, though, folks. Yichen, no wedding ring. Yeah, I've got a feeling they're in a glove box somewhere in one of your cars. Here we go, then. Look at that. Aggressive Neil's in there. Now, Neil's the slow... Whoa! Full Ramo. Instead of full Ramo. Absolutely brilliant. To have something named after yourself. Short people use that, and another short person
What
has
have got in
used
your
that.
mouth there? Oh, I've got a
Look
fly
at
in
those
your mouth.
legs, eh? Yeah, look at those legs. Nothing a table would want, but nice legs. Here we go, nice and steady. Neil was very methodical. I think he's the thinking man's electrician. Half a Ramo.
Catalogue
Half a
Ramo.
catalogue Ramo. I love it. Posing
Straight out
Ramo.
of gratin.
So we've had 2 Ramos there, 2 halves and a full one. That's it. So we're in for the socket. And this was strange because lots of people decided again not to use the handle. So look, we go all the way down, and they kept suggesting it was the best way forward. There we go, slow and steady. I'm Neil. There's no point rushing this. Anyone to think it's a race, and just see over the glasses. Hair's a little bit in the way, but I'm doing it. And this is that. Oh, no screwdriver. Look at that. Yeah, and if you only use the handle, look at this. There you go. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it, Neil. So, and well, it could be some time. So yeah, we're in here. This took a while. Oh, look at a good edit there. 11 Nah, your new company name. I love it. So Andy's in. Andy was absolutely busting. Absolutely busting. Neil, I would suggest you were a little bit slower, but certainly, yeah, I liked your style. Your
Looking
style.
for the screws now.
Your style
There we
wouldn't
go.
burn the house down. Okay. Your watch there, is that giving you solar array? Is that solar array or your heart rate?
Sabotage.
Sabotaged. What's happening? Look, best grip ever though. I must admit, Yichen absolutely perfect at holding those conductors in. And I said, that, hello, no handle again, no handle. And eventually press the button. Here we go. Oh, that's not a good sign. Not a good sign. We're back. We're back up here, Andy. We thought you were going for the button. We got all excited there. Now you're back in the board. Yeah.
There's a watch from the garage.
Right.
Oh, use the handle though. There we go. So we're a couple of screws away from finishing, folks, and you will find out who's going to be ringing Jenny on the burner phone and who's going to win our glorious prize of a free battery and solar install at their house. So here we go. So that's finally done. Bang. That was a good one. Well done. Always confident when you look at the camera. Neil didn't need to stand up fully. Jump. There you go. Which one stops it? It was great, and we don't know the times from a point of view that I can't remember them. Okay, I know it's incredibly tight. Okay, so we're going to stand up. We're going to be left or right now, Gordon.
Some times to be.
Who are you going to grab first? Ooh, nearly knocked something else.
Ooh.
Who are you going for?
Ooh, okay.
I know, innit? Innit?
Yeah. Who do you think was slowest, Gary?
I don't know. How do you think it went?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady loses the race, though, doesn't it? That's the rules in a race, isn't it? Yeah. No one wants to come sixth. Yeah, we're definitely over here.
We're definitely over here.
Yes.
And I'm not going to be troubling down there.
Oh no.
Either, so
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, let's have a look. Ian Bevan.
You got in the right way.
Wow.
Yeah. Mark,
wow.
Mark Hodgson. Just slotting
Oh,
the
wow,
Mark
with
Hodgson
that-
there. Nice,
Oh!
nice. Just into the 8 minutes there. That's that was.
Right. Shall we let them pick? So we don't have to let them pick.
Yes. Who's
Right.
next?
Let's do. Andy, you've done nothing but talk tonight, and you haven't said a word all day. So Neil, who would you like to go first or go second at this stage?
Andy first.
Andy first. Right. Okay.
Ooh.
Andy first. Andy, your first run was Olympic. Okay. Really good.
Maybe
So
not quite
let's
good
see
enough.
how you got on when you got to the rest of them.
Like-
Are you on this? You're not on that way,
We
eh?
are on this board.
Oh, tell us a story about the 4 minutes.
We're above outrageous territory, so we're actually in electrician territory.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to have to start shuffling people.
So it's in the threes?
No, not in the threes. Not in the
Oh,
threes.
right, okay.
Just on the,
But outrageous is 4.
it is 4, 6 anyway. So it is actually shuffling around there. Exactly 4 minutes.
Oh! That is incredible. That is
second.
incredible. Yeah, well done. Anything under 4 minutes is just Olympic. 4 minutes.
4 minutes. It's just
is-
not quite.
no, it's good. It's good.
I'm nervous.
You ought to be.
Well, you've been clearing some space.
Yes,
down
I
at the
have.
bottom
Done.
there.
You are dead right.
yeah,
I didn't know whether
so-
you'd catch me out earlier on. You are this side. Do I need to stay down here, Gordon?
No, you don't get it.
No, don't I?
Oh, hello.
You actually did this in 3 minutes and 54, which actually puts you above. Adam Pavey, who is a working electrician on the tools, actually. So that is, it doesn't work after 2 in the afternoon, but he is still on the tools, so he's quite fast.
Yeah, he's got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Round of applause, folks. That is an incredible time, Neil.
Well, Neil.
Can I have the clipboard, please? I'll just go through this quickly for you before we do part 2. We have got another video to watch as well. The times were as following, Andy. So we were trying to say, first run, Andy, 4 minutes 26, okay? Then your first run, 5:40. Okay, then your second run, 4:46. So you still aren't in the race. Your next one was 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Last run, 4:30. You had a disaster. I walked away from you, come back, and you'd gone backwards, hadn't you?
Distracted me. That was
3:54. You weren't even in the conversation in the heats. But there's no point winning a heat.
When
is there?
the second
you want to
one,
win the
I
final.
had to go back. I didn't wire the CPC.
Well done.
Right.
Yeah, well done. You did
So I had to
brilliant.
go back and
2 great
rewire the
times.
CPC.
2 great times. Their times added together make your time, don't they? That's the problem, isn't it? But you got a lot better because you were 10:20 on the first one. Yeah, a girl with one hand who was 12 still beat you, if that makes you feel any better. Now, talking about feeling better, I'd like to play darts. Now, I'm a massive darts fan. I love the World Championships, and it's unlikely I'll be escorting you to this if you happen to win, but I can come as your guest because I don't think the Lasico Group are going to allow me to do it. But if you want to win tickets to the Alexandra Palace, check out this video now.
Let's play darts! How would you like tickets to see the World Darts Championship final at Ali Pali? Luceco are giving away 2 pairs of free tickets to the event on the 19th of December, along with a night in a 4-star hotel and travel expenses. And that's not all. You'll also enjoy hospitality at the event with food and drink laid on. And there's lots of other great prizes available too, including a Flight Club experience, Luke Littler dart sets, dart shirts, Greg's vouchers, and Luceco head torches. Entering is simple. Just scan the QR code on a promotional display at your local wholesaler, or head to lucecodarts.co.uk, sign up to the Luceco mailing list, and then hit play. If you hit the ball, you'll win a prize, but don't worry if you're as bad at darts as Gary is. Even if you miss, you'll still be entered into the prize draw for those tickets. Sign up today and win yourself a great night out.
A little bit of story about the darts. Obviously, I did throw that dart down between his feet, and I did it in one action. It actually pressed itself into the leg. He actually standing either side of the leg of the table. And Rick said, "You did that really well." Nope, it could have easily gone in his foot, his ankle, or anything. I just lobbed it down there. I thought it'll take one for the team. So that was great fun. Now we've got to do the last bit, which is sweeping up. Now I was playing you two all day long because the times were that close. And you watch a lot of episodes, don't you, Neil? You're a bit of a fan of eFIXX, okay? So you had a whiff that if you were sweeping up, you might be last. So I put, obviously, you in the seat, didn't I? And you weren't last, just sort of play with your mind. So let's see Andy sweep up then. So this was all about seeing those legs again. And I didn't think we'd see him tonight, actually. I thought it was going to be a daytime attire, but I was wrong. So there they are. Any sunlight where you live?
There's a little bit in Cambridge occasionally.
Yeah, considering they're out all the time. Okay.
And fantastic. They were actually, for the first time ever, cleaning up as they went along.
Yes.
The floor was immaculate.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and obviously don't forget a Greencable. If you generate a lot of waste like we do on that challenge wall, they'll gladly drop you a bin off, and you plonk your waste cable in there, and they'll come and take it away and give you some money in your bank account.
And they're spreading out even more according to the map, so they keep spreading out further and further. I'm sure if you've already put your details in, they've contacted you to tell you they're in your area.
We got a text earlier in the week saying they were in the area. If the bin was full, they'd come and collect it. And despite my best efforts, I did try and trawl around the streets, see who else's cables I could put in there, but I couldn't get to a full bin, so I'll have to wait.
No,
as we call it, Christmas.
Yeah, it would be nice for those people who celebrate it. Okay then, folks, so let's go through some of those fundamentals. So we're going to need to know, I don't care who takes it, the kilowatt rating of your inverters. What are they as we run them through? What we got?
So we have G98 3.68 kilowatt, and then we do a 5 kilowatt and 6 kilowatt, both approved for G99 and G100.
Right.
And we're currently going through final testing before approval of 8, 10 and 12 kilowatt.
All right.
All in single phase?
All single phase. We have 3-phase on the plans as well.
Okay. But you're going for that core, as you said earlier, core residential market first, because that's where the volume is. You'd know.
That's right.
Haven't sold a few bits for a few bit of time, but okay.
It's going out every day.
Yeah. So I think, by the time you're at residential 12, you're sort of, you're at the large.
Yeah, you're not going to get more than 12 usually in residential.
The sound of gravel on a driveway if you're getting to 12 kilowatts on a residential.
As the gates swing shut behind you. Yes. Okay. So that's great. So we've got those, and they're in the works 3-phase on its way. Those people who are watching this and thinking they've missed the solar coaster, okay, it's like it's gone up and down, I'm out of it, and all the rest of it. It hasn't. When we spoke to Griff, he said if the party was starting at 10 o'clock in the evening, it's actually 2 o'clock in the morning, you're still asleep, you haven't been shopping for your new shirt. Are you finding that across the counter, that actually this is the start of it, not the end of it?
Yeah, I think July and August were two of the busiest months we've ever had in terms of orders going out the door. I mean, just generally with midsummer, and starting to pick up the sodium battery sales
ever.
as well.
What, in the history of the business?
In the history of the business, yeah. It's not necessarily our highest turnover ever, because there've been times in the past when solar panels and battery systems cost a lot more than they do now. But it's that price drop that's really helping to drive things. You don't need any subsidy or anything these days. It's just it's worthwhile.
Now, before we dive into your products, obviously, because we reported in the news last month it looked, according to MCS figures, there wasn't, the battery installs were nothing compared to solar installs.
Yeah, but not all battery installations by any means get recorded by MCS. So a lot of them just get done quietly on the side. But there's no requirement to log them, so why would you? So, I mean, from the perspective of what we're sending out the door, I would say maybe 3/4 of the inverters we go out are hybrids with batteries alongside them. There's still a bit on the sort of new build market. They try and put the minimum they possibly can in, and they tend to be just solar only. But the vast majority of people fitting solar to a household these days will put in the battery storage too.
Okay, that's good. That's good news. Good news for you.
Okay. And battery capacities then? Have we just got a standard one set of batteries, or you got larger capacities? We go, what can we get up to?
So at the moment, we're doing a 4.5 kilowatt hour unit, and we've got this external case that takes 2. So most people these days will tend to go sort of 8, 9, 10 kilowatt hours. Roughly speaking, if you've got enough, the same battery capacity as you're tending to use in the house in a typical day, that's about right as a rule of thumb. So that's 8, 9, 10 kilowatt hours for most people. That's a good size. So 2 of our batteries in one of our outdoor enclosures makes an excellent system for most people. If you've got a bigger house, then put 2 of the outdoor enclosures in and have 4 batteries and sort of 18 kilowatt hours of storage. But not many people would actually.
We've got a few installs with 35 kilowatt hours.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Increasingly,
predominantly it's kind of a 2 battery install, which is
10's plenty for a normal house.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got a little bit more. You
can see the data.
We will do some data stuff.
Yeah.
But you're using 2 EVs and all the rest. What is your usual daily usage roughly?
Mine's high. I mean, bear in mind I run a print farm as well, which is basically heaters. So I run about 20-25 kilowatt hours a day.
Right. Okay.
But obviously none of that coming out of EVs. I mean, I'm charging 2 EVs as well overnight.
Okay.
So quite heavy consumers.
We've definitely seen that the average sort of capacity of battery systems creep up over time, and I think that'll continue, especially as people start putting in heat pumps. Because if you've got a big load there, then you want to be getting as much as you can off the batteries and off your solar. So bigger, more powerful solar PV systems and bigger batteries to go alongside them.
Yeah, and it's okay. Well, we've got this tariff where we can charge overnight, usually cheap, and some people are charging. There's a word for it. I think it's called doing a Richard Gaunt. So what he does overnight is he charges up his batteries on the cheap electricity and then exports it back to them at twice the price all day long.
Right.
Don't you, Rick? Yeah, you certainly do.
Well, if you've got an EV, then you've got access to some of the best tariffs out there. So, and as you say, you're paid twice to export what
I'll let you know. Let you in a secret here. Rumour. Some say that Rick has the EV tariff, but doesn't have an EV.
Oh.
Nobody actually checks up to see. There's a top money saving tip from Rick this week.
Yeah, Rick.
Did you know that one?
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't realise it was that easy. I thought he'd conjured up something to suggest, got a friend with a car and sort of use the registration or the plate.
But Rick does have an EV this week, though, don't you, Rick?
Oh, does? Yeah. Hang on, let's bring Rick in. So, you got a microphone there, Rick. If I've got, you can get incredibly close to you. Where's my hand cam gone? I've lost hand cam. What have we done with it? Is it over there? That's right. Just you do it for us, young man. I'll come over and see it. So over here. So you've gone all EV on this. We had last time out, we had Joe Hammond came out, didn't he? And you've come out now, haven't you? So you're now an EV driver.
Yeah, but it weren't my choice.
But nobody gets forced to have a battery-powered van, do they? But it's a life choice, and you want to be greener. You've got the tariff at home, haven't you? You've got a loop supply. You've got a load of trouble. You've got 3 batteries in your loft. You're using 2 of them, but we won't mention that live on the telly, will we?
There's a charger here, though, isn't there?
There is a charger here. I didn't think of that one. So why have you got a battery-powered van?
Because mine's currently in for service.
And what make is your van?
It's a Citroen.
There's your first mistake. How many times has it been in for the same fault?
I think we're on 5 now.
Okay. Were you pleased, big fella?
Not at all.
No. Okay. Back to the real world over here. So yes, Rick's got an issue with his EV. No, he hasn't. He's got an issue with his petrol. Okay, in order that he can get it to work. But it's got the same problems as an EV. He's got sort of range anxiety in a different way. Because if he does more than 30 miles in a round trip, it brings on the service light on his actual van. And if he turns it off, he can't actually turn it back on. So these people with Nissan Leafs worrying that they can't get anywhere. You buy yourself a Citroen van and you're absolutely kippered, aren't you, Rick? Absolutely kippered. Right, okay. Right, on with the stuff, on with the show then. So, here we go.
Your inverter, obviously you've said sodium batteries, slightly different voltage levels, so you've had to tailor the inverter to suit the battery technology.
That's right. It's a bigger voltage range on the battery connection side. Yeah.
Right. Is there anything else in there that will excite me? Have you got that, our favourite, always the DC isolator? Have you got a nice DC isolator on there?
We do. Yeah.
I built in one.
Solar and on the battery. So each of the battery modules has a DC isolator as well. And we have a solar PV isolator on the inverter.
Okay, bring the picture back in. Oh, I think I saw a huckle amongst the team. Bring the picture back in of the system. What we got? Whoa. Yeah. What about the one outdoors as well? Find me the outdoors one. Rick's on the panel. It's funny this is because Jude's just gone out for the bathroom. Yeah. Oh, what do we notice there, folks? Have we got a couple of bits of kit maybe we don't need? Anyone can answer. What would you say there, Neil? What's in shot that maybe we didn't need?
You don't need the PV isolators.
Yeah. Any of them?
No.
So
you need the one that's on the inverter.
Well, which you can't see. Obviously, it's on the side. So somebody has gone along there, installed a system, and added 3 potential problems on the outside of that building, haven't they?
I have.
Yes, okay, and I would suggest this will be a problem that comes back to haunt you. There are people out there on social media, and it's their opinion, not my opinion. I'm not fitting them, and I totally go with what they want to do because they guarantee their own work. But as somebody that sends this kit out, obviously you'd like them to buy as many pieces as you can from you. I understand that, Andrew. But from your point of view, would you suggest that was a wise move?
I would not install them. I would not install. There's no export meter on there, but equally I wouldn't install an export meter either.
Okay, because you don't need it.
You don't need them.
No, okay. And again, if you're trying to make sure it's customer friendly on the price and less things to go wrong, surely you wouldn't fit something you need to fit. Well, are you a fan of fitting a DC isolator?
I've made a video on that. As long as as I said, the inverter's got one on and it's to a right standard, the isolator standard, which again we had a look under the cover one last week. And it was, and most of the manufacturers are, so I'm quite happy with that. And so you don't see them in commercial. No. I'd say people just need to understand how to safely isolate a solar system to work on it. And mind it's always live.
I'm just about to say, are they working at night as well? It's like,
disconnect those connectors, and it's just, people assume you've isolated a foot of cable between the isolator and the inverter, that somehow the system's safe. And people will quite happily carry a lit panel up a set of ladders.
Yes, they will. Yeah, on a blistering hot day.
Yeah.
Okay, not an issue at all. Okay, that's good. Talking about protection, obviously there is protection that is required. Maybe we don't need some isolators on the outside. Is there anything built in there that might save the actual end user some money? I'm talking about circuit protection, possibly.
Sorry, Yichen.
The battery breakers, circuit breakers, are inbuilt in the battery packs. And so that means you don't need to buy external battery circuit breakers, and also the housing of the breakers.
Okay, are they cheap?
No, they're not. So we'll save you about 200 quid.
We're having a look under the lid of one here.
All right, okay, let's have a look. So can you?
So there's the battery isolator and overload in there.
All right, okay.
A bit of stator charge. So to most people, they're pretty similar to regular batteries that people are used to seeing.
Yeah, absolutely, and that makes them easier to install. Obviously, as we mentioned, you're talking a little bit more density, which equals a little bit more weight. So with an enclosure, it just allows you to put the batteries in individually.
I think my battery fuses are external, and there's nothing stopping you pulling them down. And I would think, is there an issue there? If I was slowly pulled that open, would there be an issue as we were making and breaking the blades of the contact? Is there an issue there? It looks a bit average to me, considering it's off the battery.
On the, sorry, you're talking about the battery connectors to the...
Yeah, so mine are fused externally. I can see mine as I go there. So if somebody came along and just opened that...
Pull the cable off. I believe the protection
BMS
is
shut down.
BMS is shut down.
BMS is just shut
Because
down.
the biggest fear I've got is with a lot of my kit on show, in the future, I'm hoping one of my children in the long-term future may have some other things in their lives that come around and love me to bits.
Oh, right. I think you're hoping your kids are going to pull the wire off.
No. So because I look at mine and it's so accessible, obviously, I look at it and I look at everything and think, there's a switch there, there's a meter here that I didn't need, and there's a fuse here, and I'm paranoid that they'll come along and don't.
Well, I mean, they're latching connectors as well. So, I mean, they'd really need to know what they were doing to remove a latching connector like that. But it'd be perfectly safe.
Our experience of setting fire to a battery. G-Dog, what was our
biggest worry, Gary, if you're thinking grandkids, going to be Smarties or something, isn't it?
Right,
down the back of the battery.
Yeah, tink as they go in there, tic-tacs and Smarties.
Melted Smarties.
Yeah, there's no worries. There's nothing wrong
at
with
least we know what Gary's looking forward to now. He's looking forward to having grandkids.
I am totally looking forward to having grandkids.
It's miserable enough, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Let's go and see your granddad, Gary.
Oh, go and see Grumpy. Go and see Grumpy. No, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I just look at mine and think, that's the only reason I'd probably want mine outside now, because you wouldn't want it in the house when they're really small. So
sure. But as I say, it's all latching connectors anyway, so you really need to know what you're doing.
We know that from setting fire to one kicks in, didn't it? Didn't go bang, did it?
Didn't go bang.
No, it didn't go bang. Right, okay, so apps. Obviously, must have an app.
Oh, everything's got to have an app, hasn't it?
Easy to commission.
Well, I mean, that's obviously it would have been easy for us to just kind of hang on the sustainability thing and be a one-trick pony. But what we really wanted to do was kind of solve a lot of the challenges that you see, certainly in the UK. And what I really wanted was a very straightforward installer commissioning process. So it's very, very easy. Any installer can sign up. We don't need to authorize you onto the system. So it's very easy to, just once the thing's installed, think, oh, actually I need the app. You can sign up for an account without having to call us or get any codes or anything. And then once you're ready to commission the inverter, it just connects to it over Bluetooth. We've got a very simple traffic light system, so we connect to the inverter, we do all the basic checks, make sure the CT clamp's the right way round, make sure we can see power going in the right direction. You then just tell us the number of battery modules that you're installing. We actually then give you a guide as to what to plug in where and what dip switches to set. Oh, right. So the app's guiding you through, and as you see here, we just connected to the inverter. I don't have any PV on this particular install, but we're showing you all the a traffic light system to show whether everything's working. Then you just connect the thing to the Wi-Fi. And once done, enter a site name, postcode, so that we can get weather patterns and things like that. You then just tell us the service fuse rating, whether it's G98, G99 or 100, how many solar panels there are, and then that's it. So I'm talking through it faster than I can type, obviously.
You're picking it.
And then we show that in the app as well. So should there be any kind of inspection, you can actually show the lifetime generation of the system, but also what certification it's actually to. And then we're just commissioning, so it's registering the inverter on our platform, it's then putting the configuration onto the inverter, job done. So then the next step in the process, just give us the email address of the customer, and at that point we then send an email to the customer so that they can adopt the system. They sign up into the app, enter the code from the email that they're given, and that's it. At that point they adopt the system, and it's handed over to the customer. So we wanted a very straightforward process, really.
Does Sparky still see their system when he's left?
They can, yes. So as an installer, you have a record of every customer that you've installed. So you can go into the app, see a list of customers, take over those customers' systems and assist them remotely as if they were the customer using the app. So,
I mean, for me, as a feel of some of the best-in-class EV chargers, when you commission them, a very similar process. It's Bluetooth connection.
Yes.
Walk through the process. I like the way you're detecting if the current clamp is the right way around.
It is one of the biggest regular reason to reattend site.
Yeah,
so we actually check to see which, because obviously before the inverter's commissioned, we power the inverter down, so it's not doing anything. So there's only ever going to be draw into the house. Yeah. So we can actually check that the CT clamp's in the right direction.
Anyone who's a member of the UK Facebook solar panel help group on there will see it's a common thing that installers fit the clamp the wrong way around. And 6 months later, people are asking, why is my energy bill higher
than it
now that I
was?
have solar?
And then the other thing, of course, is, I mean, I follow all the Facebook groups, and the other thing that I mentioned at the top of the show was, the number one thing I see is, how do I stop my EV discharging my house battery? And it's the number one thing that you see, and typically the response to the homeowner is a great big diagram as to how the homeowner needs to rewire their house in order for the EV charger to not in order for the PV system to not see the EV charger.
You always got to put the EV charger ahead of the current transformer.
Correct, but in a lot of situations that's impossible, without kind of more Henley blocks or another consumer unit. So, but what we didn't want to do was to mandate a particular model of charger. And predominantly solar installs tend to trail EV charger installs. Yeah. So asking the homeowner to invest another grand or so in the correct EV charger is a no-no.
Okay. So how have you managed to solve that problem?
So the way we've tackled it is to work with Shelly, So we have quite a close relationship with Shelly, and they obviously manufacture a great range of various power switches, energy monitors, and things like CT clamps. So you can get this little fella, wrap that around the tails going to the EV charger, plumb that into a 6 amp MCB in the consumer unit, and all of a sudden we can monitor the draw on the EV charger regardless of the make and model of it. What you then do, again, we wanted it very simple in the app. So as you commission a Shelly device, you do it through our app.
Okay, so don't need to go off and...
You don't need to go off and...
do a Shelly app
one of the big
and
things
another
with Shelly is that you connect to the Shelly to the Wi-Fi, and then all of a sudden it's just gone.
Oh, no,
it's in the customer's
You're in another
Wi-Fi
world at that
exactly.
point.
So
Shelly's great, but the dashboard's pretty intimidating the first time you go in there.
We connect to the Shelly device over Bluetooth. We will show you new and existing devices. So if you're commissioning a lot of them, we show you which you've already done and which are new to us. We then connect to it, put it on the customer's Wi-Fi, and commission it into our platform automatically. And we check through that whole process. We don't leave the commissioning process until we've seen it connect to our platform. Wow. So it's a very, very straightforward end-to-end process. What we then do is you just tell us when you configure that energy monitor what appliance it is controlling. And then we're contextual. So if you say it's an EV charger, we just pop up a message to say, oh, do you want us to disable the house battery when the EV is charging? Conversely, if you tell us, for example, there's some, like this OGEM Ray unit, 25 amp relay, really handy unit for connecting an immersion heater. When you tell us that that outlet is connected to an immersion heater, we say, do you want us to use this as a dump load? Now, with energy tariffs the way they are at the moment, it might not make sense, especially if you've got an EV, because you're paid double what you pay to export. But in those early days, of course, you don't have export. So you do want to kind of use absolutely every kilowatt hour of energy until your energy provider finally accepts your MCS and DNO paperwork, which might be 2 or 3 weeks down the line. So it just gives you that option of just maximising what you're harvesting locally, until you can start to reap the rewards of it from an export tariff. So again, we just say, do you want us to use this as a dump load? We then just automatically identify how much power that unit draws when it's on, and then when we see that amount of export going out, we just switch that unit on automatically. But we also give things like scheduling for anything that we're controlling. So you can actually use our app to program the immersion heater if we were the ones controlling it. So we've got full scheduling of Shelly devices in there. Kind of imagine it as trying to be a bit of a kind of home assistant light, I guess.
So for instance, on the immersion heater, you could program it to use the same off-peak tariff.
Yes.
You might be using to charge your batteries.
Correct.
At the same time.
Yeah, and just have everything in one place. But what it's also allowing us to do is, using things like this, this is just a 13 amp Shelly plug. It just allows us to monitor big ticket items around the property. So instead of just, we love our stats, don't we, in the app? So as well as just being able to see broadly what the system's generating, what the house is using, we can do a deeper dive and actually show you where the energy is consumed, and that allows the homeowner to make decisions. If they kind of spread some of that load out, then they can stay within the limits of their inverter, for example. So we can give a lot more insight to the end user on where their energy is being consumed, but also, in this kind of world of AI and smart tariffs and automatic charging and discharging, the more data points we get and the more we can analyse where the usage is, the more we can plan around when to charge and when not to charge the battery, because we actually know what's consuming the energy, not just kind of this big bucket of energy that is being consumed.
You'd like that, Gary?
Yeah, I would, because having that
You just guess it.
Yeah, a smaller inverter can be a challenge, especially maybe on a Sunday when you're trying to do a lot more cooking and stuff like that. And I have been known to gazelle around, knocking ovens off and turning kettles on maybe to get vegetables boiling and stuff like that.
Absolutely. You know, while we're talking about data, of course, I mean, we've spoken about UK support that we provide. Obviously, all of our data storage is in the UK. It's all UK data sovereignty, but also it's designed to be secure. So, you know, the inverter communication, all app communication is designed to ISO 27001 InfoSec.
Oh, okay.
Because Gary sometimes phones his family up from here and tells them to take a shower.
Oh, yeah, no. In the summer,
free electricity.
I've got a 19-year-old that thinks 2 o'clock's the first thing in the morning and it's in the afternoon.
Yeah, I know that.
And what's happened then is my battery's full. And obviously, it's done the first cycle on the water and done the second. All of a sudden, I've got a hot tank full of hot water and my battery's getting up to 90, 95, 96. You need to get up and you need to get in that shower because you just think, because he's going to get up half an hour, 20 minutes later, and I'll be just chucked a kilowatt and a half out the door. I don't want to be doing that.
You're not on a smart tariff yet, Gary?
And, well, what? Do I get paid?
Yeah.
My export is microscopic. My export, because I'm managing that well, because my hot water tank's massive.
Yeah, but instead of that, you get better.
No. And let's go back slightly in that story. So what I've done now is I've moved the time of the hot water in the morning to a lot earlier. So my wife definitely gets up and it will not be on the gas, whereas before she was crossing over the gas. Mm-hmm. So she starts draining that tank. The problem was when she was getting up and then it got it all the way back up to maximum, because I've got it pretty high on the electric one. You want to go a bit hotter, don't you? So, of course, it drives that water up. But because Michelle hadn't dropped it up, so I just moved that time on. I did that this year, so I've solved that. But I don't ring them as often anymore now. So as long as Michelle's got up and a juicy shower before work, which she does every day, bang, I'm all right now. I'm on Clover.
There you go.
I'm on Clover. You're welcome. Top tips from Gary. No Shelly involved on that one, folks. Well, it is actually. The wife's called Shell, so so my Shelly has to get in the shower after it's already on.
And you're the artificial intelligence, are you?
No. There is no intelligence, and definitely isn't artificial. I don't want to be kidding anyone on that. Any more questions coming through, Gordon?
But that's integrated in the app. Yep.
Yeah, fully integrated in our app. I mean, I think we had a call with Shelly about 6 months ago, and I think they were quite taken aback by the level of integration. I mean, they said nobody has gone as far as we have in integrating just the whole commissioning process and management into their apps.
Right. And just obviously off the top, is that almost any Shelly device with the PM sort of part numbers for the power?
Well, EMs, PMs, you name it. I haven't found a Shelly device that we don't work with. I mean, we've even got, I think this one, I mean, this is an interesting one. This is 3-phase, but that's just three.
Go on, keep
oh
talking.
yeah, we've got that one. We've got
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, we can use
we've
it.
got
Yeah,
them.
so you've got 3
So
CTs,
the neatness
is
with
it?
that is that
Oh,
just
that's the new
sits.
one for the, yeah, that's
If you put it upside down, that will sit on the top of the MCBs, and it's designed for 3-phase, but that just then gives you. We just see that as 3 outlets.
Yes.
So when we onboard that, you'll just see outlet 1, outlet 2, outlet 3. You can name them. You can tell us what they are, and when you tell us what a device is, that allows us in the statistics page. We just show you, based on heating, garage, kitchen, etc. We'll show you groups. We group your energy consumption.
Did we have that on that app earlier on? Just bring that back in. I think you could see
we did something similar at Joe's house. We had 3 CTs, so we could put them in 3 different positions, so you could see total load uses, the EV, and what you were generating, which I thought was great.
Down. I think we've got a whole list of appliances pop up here.
So this is for granular detail, is it? Is this?
Yeah. So we show you kind of their
what you're using.
Summarise what you're using.
Okay, so tell us when we're there. So
have you got this on almost every circuit in your home?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you see cooker. I mean, EMs for the cooker, dishwasher.
Distiller. What's the distiller? What we're doing there?
Oh, well, I live in Bromham, so you know Bromham, don't you?
Yeah, I do know
you
Bromham.
need to distill your water in
Oh,
Bromham.
I thought we're just. Oh, no, sorry.
It's not a whiskey man. Yeah,
On-sweet towel rails, though, because it's easy to control them. I can just schedule them. Right. So I used to be a prolific home
So here we go. This bit
user.
here, this is a granular breakdown of all the stuff that Shelly's on there.
Immersion.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's good.
Dishwasher.
And you can also control them. So anything that we recognise as an outlet that can be controlled, we
PC, What, you can knock the PC
Oh,
off?
if you're hunting down big
Xbox.
ticket items,
Xbox.
gaming PC, easily 800 watts.
500 for
And you're
Xbox.
talking, you know, if it's my son, like 5-6 hour shifts on that. 800 watts. When you're starting to kind of wonder where all the consumption is,
100%.
it's in that.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, I'll go bed and they're on the Xbox. It's walking away, absolutely walking away. Yeah, nightmare. Okay.
One in your house.
Well, yeah, it is, isn't it?
You got the energy police breathing down your neck at 2 in the morning, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Get up, get a shower, get off that computer.
No, I can't get off the Xbox.
But, you know,
It's
Just have a miserable existence.
And then for anyone that does, you know, you get your techie customers. For anyone that does have Home Assistant, we have our own Home Assistant integration. So, and they can take over control of the inverter from that as well.
full smart home systems,
Yes.
they burn through energy, they do. If you've got a Control 4 system and a massive rack, what you've got there is just energy leaving the house. I think, for me, smart has always been smart energy management, not necessarily the ability to necessarily do blinds and colour light changing.
Is there any add-ons to the inverter to hook in the Shelly devices? Is there another, do you need another hub or something?
No, it just all happens through our cloud platform.
Right,
So everything talks through
So
our
for the
EMS.
the inverter, you connect to Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, can we hardwire it if you have to? Was it?
We have a hardwire option
Right.
coming out, so we're just in final testing.
Okay,
of it at the
so you
moment.
put that onto Wi-Fi. Most people have got Wi-Fi, not a problem.
Yeah.
You'll need it actually for the Shellys anyway, won't you?
You do, yeah.
So
Well, not all of them. I mean,
some
that
of them
one
got
and that
that
one are Ethernet.
yeah.
You know, which is great, because obviously consumer units are metal clad nowadays, so trying to get a Wi-Fi signal out of them.
But what you're really getting is the inverter plus an energy management
Yes.
system. And the good thing about
The Shelly
the
prices.
Shelly devices are pretty aggressively priced in the market.
Yes, indeed.
And that's-
Yeah.
You show Shelly as
And
well?
then-
We do, yeah.
What are the chances? What are the chances?
there on that table from Midsummer.
From boat liver to, I bet you ain't living on a boat now, are you?
Only a few years ago we moved on.
It's a boat, Gary, but it's in cans.
Yeah, absolutely. Some tax haven. I'm just, that's, we get a smaller boat to it that holds about 50. Yeah, that's it. One of them. So fantastic. Questions, Gordon. Come on. There must be some.
Question, obviously, if people are saying if the cloud fell over, can we still operate the system?
Well, your internet would fall over. The cloud's not going to.
Right.
So, but if the internet falls over, yes, you can. You can control it over Bluetooth, and there are local timer options. Obviously, you lose the smart functionality for things like smart tariffs, because we're connecting to your energy provider over the internet and telling your inverter what to do based on that over the internet. But if there's a short loss of internet connection, no, everything still ticks along nicely.
Okay. We've been doing the fantasy football all this football season, and one of the team members gets mentioned in it this time. If you're in the fantasy football, please put it in the comments, and if you're doing as well as me, you'll be in a great space, folks. So if you're doing the fantasy football and you're watching the live stream, just ping it in the comments for me now before later on in the show we actually see what's happening this week. G-Dog.
Now, people are asking, obviously, smart tariffs. You mentioned smart tariffs. Can we get the Octopus and people like that?
Yeah, so we're currently working with Octopus for achieving eFIXX. So we're going through the program with them at the moment. And we're shortly going to be rolling out smart tariff functionality. So if you're on Octopus, build an API key in your Octopus account, put that into the app, and then we'll read the tariffs from there.
Is there any other popular smart tariffs at the minute? Because some people have said that Octopus they might have not quite as been as competitive as they once were, actually.
Well, I think they're the only ones that are doing true time-based stuff. I mean, yeah, you can. There are other
we're doing
providers.
it, but they've not been taking on new customers
Yeah.
lately, as far as I know. So at the moment,
But I
if you
think
want to
they
just
were-
look at
they-
the wholesale. The Agile is the Octopus Agile is the only one that actually follows the wholesale prices.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few that will give you cheap periods in the middle of the night and more expensive periods and more expensive export, which is more important, where you can charge your battery overnight and then export it again during the day.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a few of them like that.
And just suggest that you've got an EV, actually, and you get a much better deal.
Yeah, that's all Rick's
I
doing.
think Octopus actually asks for your registration if you go on Intelligent now, but I think you can just put in any registration.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that from us. That's allegedly, by the way. That was not consumer advice from Team eFIXX. We've had enough legal letters in the last 6 months. We don't need any more. Right, let's have a little break, just have a rest so we can have a look at these comments. Let's bring on the fantasy football and see which one of the team members wins an award this week.
Game week 4 of the Premier League season is done and dusted. Some managers holding monster scores as the big names finally delivered, while others, well, they'll be staring at their benches for the next week wondering what could have been. Let's get into it. We'll kick off with the Fusebox Flyer of the Week, which goes to our very own Richard Gaunt with Electric FC. Rick bagged a massive 94 points, flying up 181 places into 68th. That's some serious momentum. Keep this up, Rick, and you might soon be rubbing shoulders with the top 10. Though knowing Rick, he'll probably bottle it the second he gets close. Next, the EV Blocks Defence of the Week lands again with Adie's Aces. Ada Campbell. Honestly, at this point we should just rename it the Ada Campbell Award for Defensive Excellence. He's sitting comfortably in 4th place, which makes sense. His back line is sturdier than an EV block bolted to the ground. This week's Marshall Tufflex Team of the Week is Couch Potato, Craig Mitchell. Don't let the name fool you. Craig wasn't lounging around. He clocked up a whopping 102 points thanks to Caicedo, Van der Ven and Semenyo all putting in the graft. That's the kind of haul that makes you wonder if he's got insider info or just way too much time on his hands. Finally, the TIS Transfer of the Week. My recommendation, Spurs' number 20, Mohamed Kudus, who's got the potential for both goals and assists against Brighton. And, speaking of the number 20, Test Instrument Solutions are celebrating their 20th anniversary this month. Huge congratulations to everyone at TIS. 20 years in business is no mean feat. Before we wrap up, a quick shout out to a few eFIXX members who quietly are grafting away down in the lower parts of the table. Tough work, folks, but hey, someone's got to do it. That's the highlights from this week's eFIXX Fantasy League. Big thanks to all our brand partners for backing the fun, and don't forget to enter the draw for the Nipex Tool of the Week. Links in the description. Until next time, may your captains actually play, may your benches be stacked, and may Leeds continue to disappoint Rick.
I'm pleased to say I'm powering up at the bottom of the table there, leaving you at dust.
Yeah, well done, Rick, I would suggest this week. Yeah, he come in proper smug, he was. I don't know what I'm doing here now. I'm absolutely clueless. Your team's doing rather well. It's almost like you're being coached. Maybe you could argue that somebody's maybe managing your team for you, Gordon.
Yeah. How many years have you been doing fantasy football?
Badly. This is the 6th or 7th year. We've been great. Ever since I've done it. I've done it since year 1, cracking on. Got no idea what I'm doing. Only can pick players that I actually understand who they are. And I don't watch any football, so my players are getting older and older and older, because when I did watch it, yeah, they're really near the end of their career now.
You've started to take Jimmy Greaves off the pitch, haven't you?
Absolutely, bless him. God bless him. Okay. I've learnt lots today. Hopefully you have. So now it's a choice, isn't it? We can go in there with a customer, and I imagine it's one of the things that they might be concerned about, having heard stories, haven't they? You know, they've heard the press and the stories we started with those batteries in Teslas and all the rest of it. It's probably a really good selling point for the electrician to sell into the customer if they're a little bit concerned about, obviously, batteries, especially now we've shoved them outside. There must have been a reason we put them outside. So do you think that, again, is probably a selling feature that you probably haven't overly played this evening?
I think the main concern for the demographic that we've gone into at the moment has been the sustainability and the kind of ecological damage side of things, as opposed to the safety angle. But yeah, I think it's definitely a positive.
So they've got so again, a little bit of education from the electrician could be selling it into them based on the fact we talked about the amount of water that it takes to get lithium out of the ground and damage to the environment. I mean, actually, you're not damaging the environment. You're actually solar panels and saving it.
People are putting solar panels on their roof and battery storage systems because they care about the environment. It's not just about the payback. It's going to take you a few years to get the payback. It's not just about the finance. You're trying to do something that is sustainable. But unfortunately, if that is a lithium system, there is some environmental damage that goes with that. And with sodium, you don't have that environmental damage. So you're winning both ways. You're helping store your solar, but you're doing that with materials in the battery that are much easier to source and much cleaner to source and don't do any environmental damage.
And that makes me wonder why more people aren't doing it.
Because we haven't actually scaled up production yet. So we just wanted more people to buy our products, trying to raise the brand awareness first.
Would you be really pleased if more people entered the market with you? Is that something you want to happen?
We want to stay in the market alone for as long as possible.
Earlier on, you went, no, I don't want anyone else in the market. If I was Tesla and I was first there, I didn't want anyone else to make an EV car. You've changed your story. You'd like you to be left on your own because you've got what you believe is probably the most ecological and safest product out there in the market. It might be 15% bigger, but of course that doesn't make any difference. We normally double our hamburgers and all the rest of it.
There are other people moving into the sodium-ion
of course they are.
battery market as well. And there are some big announcements quite recently by BYD and C8AL, so two of the really big manufacturers in China. And I mean, those kinds of companies will only commit to technologies that they're pretty sure are going to go and be the future. So no, I think you're going to see a lot more sodium-ion offerings out there over the next few years, but hopefully we've got that first mover advantage, and hopefully we've got a really good system. It's not just the first one, but it's one that's got a really good home energy management system that goes alongside it. So yeah, if we can be there first, then hopefully it'll be one of the big ones.
Still there at the end.
Yeah,
we will be trying it.
Certainly.
Yes, we will.
So you've got your system.
I have in my downstairs plant room.
But Joe Robinson, obviously, he inherited, when he moved house, he inherited a solar system that doesn't have a battery like a lot of people. So we're going through that journey with Joe to add battery storage to an existing solar installation.
Relocate his inverter.
He's got 2 meter boxes on the outside of his house. What video did I see in this week? It was in the news.
It was in the new one that's coming out. Tell him about our new video.
Oh, yes. There is, yes. You'll see quite a bit of it. Yes, so obviously, well, we'll get that. So he's having the battery going in.
Yes.
And he'll obviously be able to have great conversations with you. I'm sure he'll add lots of smart devices to it.
He's got Shelly already.
Yeah, so he can be a fun sponge every Monday morning along with you, and obviously save lots of energy in the process. So we'll be on that journey. I think we're looking at getting that in the next month or so. We'll get it in there, so we'll be able to see how this all stacks up and get it working. And we're looking forward to that. But yes, speaking of Joe Robinson, it is still safe for September, when we like to put an emphasis on safe isolation. Now, hopefully all the eFIXX viewers practice safe isolation, or at least know what it is. But we have, for this year, we're bringing a new CPD, and it looks at diverted neutral currents and some of the other opportunities you have to electrocute yourself in the home if you don't pay, or someone else's home if you don't pay attention to what's going on. Joe's done a fantastic job breaking down exactly where pen faults occur from, how they happen, things you have to watch for, as well as some other potential sources of electrocution, including that energy theft. So if you haven't got an energy management system or a great solar battery system, you decide to go down the dark side and just steal your electricity.
Borrow it from the road.
Then yes, some things there. But that we're nearly there with that CPD. Be out in the next, hopefully, few days. And yeah, it's really good. We watched it.
Yeah, it is incredible, and even goes into phenolic degradation, all the rest of it.
What's that, Gary?
I got it nearly there, so that's good enough for me. So please, when that one comes out, this is not just necessarily for those people learning the journey, because we've got an isolated system where you pull out the earthing conductor, which still could be live. And wouldn't it be tragic to go and do all that safe isolation procedure but miss out a step with a certain set of circumstances in and actually cause yourself a massive issue? So it is very eye-opening. We've got a beautiful rig made for it as well here at the studios. It probably was teased out in the intro. So yeah, that's coming out for our Safe for September campaign in the next 3 or 4 days. Who would you like to thank for coming on the show today, Gordon?
I'd like to thank our guests.
Well, who are our guests, Gordon?
Our guests.
Just come on. We've got Neil over here. We've got Andy and Yichen.
Gary Hayes as ever.
It's going to be back in a fortnight. We've had a great time, folks. If you've got any questions, please make sure they've all gone in. Check out the links in the description that can send you everywhere we talked about today, and listen out for the wonderful song. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you in a fortnight.
Is lithium the king? Well, maybe not for long. Sodium stepping up, safe and strong. New cells built for homes and solar sites, designed to charge through days and nights. Not just theory, real world proof. 11 energies raising the roof. Cycle life performance cost. We dug in deep, no detail lost. We broke it down, the facts define why sodium might just get it right. The tech is near, the race is on. Installers, soon this gear will be gone.